All right, welcome back to the podcast. I've got a few things I want to talk about today. I want to give you an update on my running and something I've decided to change about my nutrition. I'm going to talk about my experience switching protein powders over the last month. I think that's a good amount of time to be able to actually speak on the topic. And then I'm going to get into the new Garmin heart rate monitor that I recently bought and I've been using, the monitor itself and some of the data I've been getting from it. So let's start with running. It's been going really well. I'm running 20 to 30 miles a week, feeling stronger while I'm running, feeling faster. Beautiful thing, we've had a couple of days of really nice weather here in upstate New York, which has been a welcome change, and I've been feeling stronger during those, let's say, 2 days, the past 2 days. I'm definitely making progress. My mileage is increasing, like I said. I'm feeling good during my runs. Overall, I'm really happy with where my running is headed. But if I'm being honest, I would like to lose a few pounds. Right now, I'm sitting around 180 pounds. And this isn't coming from a place of being unhappy with my body. I'm still lean. I like the way I look. I feel strong. I feel good. But running is a huge part of my life, and if it weren't such a big part of my training right now, I probably wouldn't even be thinking about losing weight. Again, I like where my strength is at. I'm happy with my body, but I'm running somewhere between 20 to 30 miles every week, and I think being at least 5 pounds lighter would be beneficial. I'm definitely not a 200 plus pound runner, obviously, but nonetheless, for my frame, I think sitting around 175 would do me justice compared to that extra few pounds. I know it's not a huge amount of weight, but when you're running, or running as much as I am and as hard as I am, 5 pounds can make a huge difference. Depending on your stride and cadence, you can take anywhere from 1,500 steps per mile. And at 20 to 30 miles per week, that's roughly 30,000 to 45,000 running steps every week. So being 5 pounds lighter means I'm carrying 5 fewer pounds for every one of those steps. I'm not going to pretend we can take 5 pounds, multiply it by the number of steps I take, and say that's exactly how much stress I'm removing from my joints. That's not how running biomechanics work. But I'm spending hours on my feet every week. If I can maintain my strength, stay well fueled, and recover well, while I'm doing all of that at a $175 instead of 180, I think it's going to help. And it could get me a little faster as well. So I'm actually going through the same exact fat loss process that I ask my fat loss clients to go through. And this has been an interesting couple of days, because it's been a few years since I've tracked all of my food. I weigh the majority of my meals throughout the day. My 2 to 3 main meals that I eat, I weigh them. Obviously, I don't weigh food when I go out to eat, and I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest. That's something that I've continued to do even long after I was tracking food. But I haven't weighed, logged, and tracked everything in a really long time. Again, I have a general idea of what I eat because I eat the same thing every single day. I'm weighing it, I'm looking at the nutrition facts, I'm basically doing the math in my head, or at least maybe once a year, I'll track everything, eat the same thing every day, give or take a few things here or there, so I have an idea of what I'm eating. But right now, I am weighing, tracking, and logging every single thing that I eat. I'm tracking calories, I'm tracking protein, I'm tracking carbs, I'm tracking my steps, and I'm using the same data tracking spreadsheet that I made for my clients. So this is how I do it. Every morning, I weigh myself and put my weight into the spreadsheet. Every night, I log my calories, protein, carbs, and steps for that day. My spreadsheet automatically gives me weekly averages, and it has a graph showing my rate of progress for the scale weight, or AKA fat loss. So that's how I'm tracking my data, and I'm doing it in the same way that I ask my clients to do it. I am going to do body measurements as well. So I'll measure my stomach, I'll measure my arms, my legs. Candidly, I have never done that, and I wish I did like 3 years ago or maybe 4 years ago at this point, before I started working with Alex Viata, because a couple years after I started with him is when I really put a lot of muscle on. And I've had people, comment when they look at older videos of me compared to new videos, you can clearly see how much muscle I put on. I know a lot of people do body measurements to track their fat loss progress, but in that case, it would have been super cool to see how much bigger my legs and my biceps and shoulders got. But I digress. I bought a little body tape measure. I'm going to do some body measurements just for kicks, just to see what comes of it. I might do progress photos. Haven't entirely decided if I feel like doing that, because I take enough pictures of myself for social media anyways. It's pretty clear how I look, at least. So not sure if I'm going to do the side by side, because I don't think 5 pounds is going to really translate that much in like a before and after photo. This also isn't like an actual fat loss phase. I just want to lose a few pounds. It's not like one of my clients who wants to lose 15 pounds and that's going to translate into photos really well. So we'll see what I decide on the photos. I will keep you posted, of course. But I've calculated my calorie deficit. It's relatively small because I'm so active that the deficit is probably going to come mainly from my activity level. And I don't want to be in a massive nutrition deficit, because that's when I'm going to run into the underfueling problem with somebody who's as active as I am. So I would rather the deficit get created through my activity level more so than my nutrition. Now I'm basically going to collect the data and see what happens. And that's an important part of this, right? I'm not going to react to what the scale does tomorrow morning. I'm going to monitor the trend over the next couple of weeks and make adjustments based on what the data is actually showing me. So I know my activity level. I'll know my caloric intake. That's all I really need. I just need consistent tracking on top of that to know what's working and if I need to make any adjustments. So it'll be an interesting challenge for me. Probably even more so, like I said, the biggest challenge will be balancing fat loss with how active I am. Training twice per day during the week, running on the weekends. I can't just slash my calories and try to lose 5 pounds as quickly as possible. That is going to be a disaster. And frankly, it would be completely counterproductive. I have to fuel my training. I have to recover with nutrition. That's still the number one priority. I don't want to get injured. I want to be able to perform well. I got to do that through nutrition no matter what my goal is. So I want enough carbohydrates to support my running. I want enough protein to support recovery and maintain my muscle. And I need enough total calories to continue to basically compound all of that so I perform well and I recover well. So I'm going to take a slow approach. If it takes me a little longer to lose 5 pounds, that's fine. I don't have an event that I'm training for. This isn't really a necessity. It's just something that I want to do to see how I feel at a little bit of a lighter weight. So I would much rather lose the weight slowly while continuing to run well, lift well, and recover than do an aggressive diet and watch my training suffer. So that's a decent perspective shift for a lot of people out there who think that losing a few pounds is only for people who have a lot of body fat to lose. Just a different way to think of it. So I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes over the next few weeks. All right, switching gears here. I think I may have touched on this, but I'm not sure. About a month ago, I changed protein powders. I've been using Optimum Nutrition, which is readily available at Target, Amazon. I think Wegmans has it. It's pretty inexpensive. But after well over a year, I just was convinced that it was an ingredient in the protein powder that was giving me gas, and it was not pleasant. I did some research on the individual ingredients, and there was one in there that has been linked to bloating and gas. I don't really feel bloated, but I definitely had gas. So that was a red flag to me. So I switched back to Legion Athletics brand, and their protein powder is called Whey Plus. I got a 60 serving bag, probably 3/4 of the way through it, and I haven't had the problem since. And full disclosure here, I am affiliated with Legion Athletics. I've been affiliated with them for over 3 years now. So if you use my discount code, I do get a small kickback. Candidly, it is a small kickback. I'm not really paying bills or making bank off of this, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra help if I can save my friends and clients money while saving a couple of bucks on products myself. It's really nice. So I stopped buying their protein powder a while back. I started using Kirkland and, like I said, Optimum Nutrition because they're significantly cheaper. And I have no problem telling you that. Legion is not the cheapest protein powder that you're going to find. But after switching back, I was reminded almost instantly, actually kind of instantly, why I liked it so much in the first place. It does taste phenomenal. They have a bunch of really good flavors. And I know a lot of companies out there have all these crazy flavors, but I don't know who on Legion's team was responsible for these flavors, but they did a really good job. All of their like cocoa cereal and peanut butter protein, they have a good honey flavor. Their Dutch chocolate, I think I mentioned this, the only one that I really didn't like was fruity cereal. Again, it was horrible, but I have tried a bunch that I've ordered. I have a friend who orders it, and we kind of like pass them back and forth to try out different flavors without ordering an entire bag, and I've liked them all. And on the subject of ordering an entire bag, if you order a product from them and you don't like it, they'll send you your money back. So they're very good like that. They want you to like their product, and I love that about them. So like I said, it tastes phenomenal. I haven't had any of the gas I was dealing with before, and I'm a big fan of the ingredients they use. They say that they use whey protein isolate from some of the highest quality cows in the world. I strongly believe they use quality ingredients because I don't have gas anymore. I have also used their post-workout supplement Recharge for years. I probably have taken it every single day for the past 4 years, with the exception of when I go on vacation, I don't take it. But it is their post-workout supplement with creatine. So that's how I take my creatine. I use their fruit punch flavor, and I put it in my smoothie after every single workout. A cup of mixed berries, 1 banana, a half a serving of peanut butter, 15 grams, 1 scoop of wild berry Recharge from Legion, and 290 grams of either Fairlife 2% milk, Wegmans 2% milk, or Burn Dairy 2% milk. All of those are high protein variations of milk. That's my smoothie. I have it every single day when I'm at home. I love Recharge. It's a very, very good product. I've never stopped using it, and I probably never will unless they discontinue it. And now they actually have another protein powder. It's called Whey Plus Clear, and I've been trying that every once in a while. This stuff is really cool because it doesn't have the texture of a normal protein shake. If you've had a whey protein before, you know that it's thick and like creamy consistency, hence the shake. Whey Plus Clear from Legion is not like that. It's much smoother and drinks more like a regular drink. So the fruit punch flavor actually drinks more like fruit punch instead of a fruit punch flavored milk, which would be pretty disgusting now that I think about it. So I've fallen back in love with their products. Like I said, they are a little bit more expensive, but in this case, I'm okay with paying more because I've noticed a legitimate difference. At the time of this recording, they're running a pretty awesome deal on their subscription service. Basically, if you sign up for auto ship, you can save 30% on that first order that you place, and then 15% on future auto ship orders. And just keep in mind, if you're listening to this after it, like a while after it was posted, they're always running some sort of sale. Not always, but oftentimes they're running some sort of sale. And if not, you can use my discount code and get something as far as either double reward points or a sale, depending on how they're using the affiliate points or the affiliate codes at that time. So if it's something you're going to be buying anyways, it's a pretty good way to bring the price down. Having a subscription, like I said, you're saving on all of your orders. So if you do decide to order something from Legion, you can use my code at checkout. It's just Syracuse Fit. That's my code. Using it at checkout always gets you double reward points, and it supports me because, like I said, I do get a small kickback from the purchase. So as long as you have an account on their site, you're earning reward points when you buy anything. And eventually you turn those reward points into savings on future purchases. So if you try something from them, I would definitely appreciate you using Syracuse Fit at checkout. Even if they're running a sale, you'll get double reward points, and I will get a kickback as well in the form of basically points is how they do it. Candidly, they give me points. Yeah, that's basically my thing for Legion. Again, I am affiliated with them. I do genuinely love them. If you're looking for a new supplement company, check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you've listened to any of my content and any platform, I don't really talk about them much over the past 3 years because they are very expensive. I'm sorry, they are more expensive than other options. So even if you're one of my clients and you ask me a suggestion for a protein powder, I usually suggest Kirkland or Optimum Nutrition because I just want to save people money. So over the past 3 years, I've been sacrificing mentioning my discount code for the sake of saving people money, because I'm not just going to be a martyr for this company. Frankly, I don't owe them anything. I want to support them, but I also want to be honest and true to myself. So at that time, I thought that it was more important that I saved people money. Now, basically going back to them, back to their whey protein powder, and realizing the quality ingredients really do matter, I think I'm doing people a service by telling them that this product is better because it truly is. And I think that I would be doing a disservice by having somebody buy the cheaper, lower quality product. So take that for what it's worth. And the last thing I want to talk about today is another new toy that I've been playing with. A few weeks ago, I bought a Garmin heart rate monitor because I wanted a more accurate heart rate data during my runs. I've been using the Garmin Forerunner 965 watch, and the optical heart rate monitor on the watch is fine for a lot of things, but one thing I've noticed is that it doesn't always do a great job of keeping up with rapid changes in heart rate. And that becomes especially obvious during interval workouts, whether I'm on the bike or doing a run. I'll start a hard interval. My heart rate is obviously climbing, but the watch takes a while to catch up. Then I stop or go into a recovery interval. My heart rate starts coming down, and again, there's a delay. I'm a little bit too picky for that to happen. So I did some digging. A couple of people on different forums on Reddit and other fitness websites basically have the same issue, and a lot of people said that you can tighten your watch super tight on your wrist and make sure that it's a little bit higher up on your wrist. I tried all that. It didn't work, so I decided to get a chest strap. The chest strap syncs directly with my watch and gives me a much more responsive heart rate reading. And that's been super cool during my interval workouts because now I can actually watch my heart rate recovery during the easy portions, and I can see how quickly my heart rate actually comes down after a hard effort instead of wondering whether the number I'm looking at is just lagging behind what my heart is actually doing. And I was pretty happy and impressed with myself because my numbers are pretty solid. So in general, chest straps are going to give you better heart rate data than the optical sensor that's sitting on your wrist. But because I'm me, I couldn't just buy the basic heart rate monitor. I sprung for the HRM 600. It is a Garmin product. They have two different options. They have the simpler heart rate monitor, if all you care about is heart rate, but the HRM 600 gives you a bunch of additional running dynamics. So it tracks things like cadence, ground contact time, stride length, step speed, vertical oscillation, and a bunch of other data. And I've had a lot of fun looking through all that data. Do I think knowing my vertical oscillation to the millimeter is suddenly going to make me an elite runner? Obviously not. Am I probably going to pay less attention to some of these numbers once the novelty wears off? Yeah, most definitely. But right now it's given me another look at how I'm running, and I've already found some of the information useful. Ground contact time has been pretty interesting for me. Cadence is interesting. Stride length is interesting. And I like being able to look at those numbers alongside pace and heart rate and see how they change depending on the type of workout that I'm doing. So it's been really fun to go over that data after my runs. And there's also a couple of practical things that I really like about the HRM 600. The strap is washable, which is fantastic because this thing is absolutely soaking wet when I'm done running. And the monitor itself is rechargeable, so I'm not constantly replacing batteries. So far, I'm super happy I went with the more expensive version of their heart rate monitor. Again, I don't think everybody needs all this running dynamics data. If you just want a more accurate heart rate reading, especially during intervals, a basic chest strap can accomplish that. But if you're a runner who likes data and you're interested in some of the additional running dynamics, I've been really happy with the HRM 600. I'm not affiliated with Garmin, so I don't have a code and I don't get any kickback. But again, I genuinely like the product, and that's basically what I'm about. Whether I am affiliated with a company or not, I'm going to be honest. And to be truthful, I usually don't just get affiliated with companies that I don't like. I have an affiliate deal with Vivo Barefoot. I love them. I have an affiliate deal with Legion. I love them. They have never done me wrong. They've always done right by me. If Garmin offered me an affiliate deal, which I don't think they do, I would gladly take it because I love Garmin products. I wear my watch 24/7 aside from when I'm charging it. I wear my heart rate monitor on all of my runs, all of my bike rides, all of my VT1 treadmill walks. If I had the money, I would buy Garmin's golf product as well. They have a rangefinder that's insane, but it's out of my realm, and I don't golf enough. So neither here nor there. If you hear me talking about a product, I really like it. All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned something today, and maybe you even found a new favorite protein supplement. If you decide to give Legion Athletics a try, don't forget, use my discount code. It's SyracuseFit at checkout. If you do, you'll get double reward points, and it helps support me as well. And obviously, I really appreciate that. I didn't intend this to be a Legion ad, so hopefully you understand that I'm being genuine about this. As always, if you have questions or there's something specific you want me to talk about on an upcoming episode, hit me up. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next week.